I wrote this, I don't know, just a idea down years ago of how to make everything better. It's like you started. Of course, this is like you can't. I don't know if you can't really do it now, but it's like if the population first, when people first start being born on a planet, you set up an area where you have rules to live by in that area. I know it's a free planet. You should be able to wander and everything else. What I'm saying, the people are breed. I'm just saying nowadays, looking at the problems, this is how it should have evolved as far as borders and states and countries and everything else. That you have a place where you start out and everything else, you have to be, before you can leave there, you have to be better than the area you're at. In other words, say there's three states, three countries, or whatever. It's just three states. We'll start out there, or three cities. Before you can go to that other city, everybody's born in this one city, and before you can go to that other city, you have to be better than the city you're in. Not money wise, but you have to be a better human and everything else. You have all your standards of that city have to be above the standards of that city to be able to move to another city, and then those standards before you can leave that city. And if your standards ever drop to where they aren't don't meet this city, then you're back to this city. You know what I'm saying? So like, uh, that's the simplest part. And if this city, say if, and I would, there was also a way of how to slow crime or something like that, where you have a, say, how police are given, you're paying taxes for this and that and the other, and you got all this, but if you had certain, like designated parameters, you have a house, boom, right there. A cop lives in that house. I don't know if you want to call him a cop or whatever it is, but he lives in that house, and that area, you have a certain area. He has a certain area that he takes control of. He's in control of the to keep crime out of that area. And then all these cops will have these or whatever you want to call them will have these areas, however big it was, however many. I don't know how many police they have for the city right now, or a county or whatever like that. But then, I don't know. You could, instead of giving them cars and everything else, you just give them a place to live. They don't pay taxes. I don't know. They go into places and eat now anyway. And but anyway, that there's nobody in charge of that area, and that community or whatever area he's in. They pay for that guy to patrol that area instead of having a precinct. They pay for this guy to control the crime in that area. Not control the crime, not be in control of crime, but stop the crime in that area. And if there's anybody in that area, so if there's people committing crime in that area from that area, then you have certain points that for each area is going to have certain points. So each and you're going to have to pay taxes. Now, if some of your people go to another area and commit crime, and that those people in that other area find out that it came from your area, then you're going to have to pay like a tribute to that other area to pay for the crime committed by the people in your area. So basically, that'll keep the community. If you unless you want to pay for people to leave your community and go commit crimes in other areas, and you're just paying out the yin yang for all these idiots that live in your community to go around committing crime, then that's what you're going to do. You might end up with no money because they're going to if they go out here and they create terrorism or vandalism, or they're stealing from people, you're going to have to pay, instead of having like an insurance, the people from the area. I mean, you're gonna control the people in your area. You're not gonna have somebody's not gonna say, oh, uh, let their children grow out and commit crimes in other areas, you're going to be paying for that. In fact, it'll come down to, uh, like a family paying for it or whatever like that. Say, say if people are vandalized, instead of having making insurance pay for it, making this person pay deductible on their insurance. Say you got $1,000 or $5,000 deductible on your home, and they come around, they whatever they do to your home, and it costs you $1,000 to $5,000 or however big your home. Maybe somebody's real rich and they got $10,000 deductible or something, and or maybe they got $100 deductible. You're gonna be paying heavy premiums. But anyway, instead of making those people pay the deductible to get their stuff fixed, this community is going to have to pay to get this stuff fixed. You see what I'm saying? So that your community is gonna say, hey, we want this controlled. Now you can't blame this guy. Say he's on duty, whether he's patrolling all the time or he's just there and then he goes out. He whatever, however it is, you could go through 1,000 scenarios how he should do that, but nobody's ever lives by rules anyway. I mean, but I'm just saying I was thinking that would be a better way of controlling crime than the way they got now, where it's just everybody pays to this one station, all these different stations, and they go out and whatever. But the people in this community never are responsible for any of the crime coming from their community. They could just live in crime all day, and and all these other ways of say, it's not like an association. It's not like your house has to, but that's just those ideas I was throwing. I was trying to think of a way to how would you stop crime in an area, and a lot of people don't care about crime unless it's going to come out of their pocket, and if it's going to come out of your pocket. And your family, say you got your family in control, and none of them are committing crimes. Or you got this like sparkle 5-star family that's doing perfect, doing everything perfect they can, and they're not bothering anybody, and they just live their lives, and they, compared to somebody over here that's got 3 kids that are freaking criminal. It's and then you're having to pay out. You're paying out, and these people over here probably, maybe they're on welfare, not paying out anything. They don't pay taxes or nothing. They're just getting, and all the money you're sending out pays for their freaking crime. That ain't right. There ain't nothing right about that.